I kind of want to just make something super quick so you guys feel very comfortable and familiar when people say cap rate. What does that mean? Basically, the way things work on a very high level, you'll have what's called potential gross income. That's the first line. Like, what's the potential gross income of this property, right? What you do is you'll subtract vacancy loss. So how much money are you going to be losing to not having the property leased, commissions to get the property leased, whatever that may be. Then you come up with what's called EGI, effective gross income. That's the actual rent that you're getting every month. Of that effective gross income, you take out operating expenses. On multifamily, it's usually 50% as a conservative estimate. A lot of times it's 42%. Single family is a lot different. You know, it can be 15 to 20% depending on how well you keep the property up. So you take the operating expenses out of the effective gross income and you arrive at the NOI. So that's the net operating income that you're getting on a property before debt. But it also, in those operating expenses, it counts for taxes, insurance, maintenance, everything. Then you get the NOI before debt. That's the money that you're getting every month. So you take the NOI, you divide it by the sales price, and that's the cap rate that you're going to have. So essentially, let's just keep this really simple. If you're going to get $100,000 a year and the property is $1 million, that's a 10 cap, and you're basically getting a 10% return on your money before debt. In the Austin market, you know, cap rates can be as low as 3.5%. Or, you know, what I typically see is 5.5 to 6.5. So as the cap rate goes down, the price goes up. It's an inverse relationship. And typically what it means, like if you have a 3 cap or a 4 cap, it probably means that it's a very nice property and you're getting such a low return because it's pretty stable. If you're getting like a 12 cap, it probably means that there's a lot of risk. But if you can buy something for a 12 cap, or let's just say you buy it for an 8 cap, and then you sell it for a 6 cap or a 5 cap.
And carry the 1 and the 2 and then divide and then multiply and then I don't know.
There's a significant amount of money that you can make. So hopefully that makes sense. Basically, NOI divided by sales price is cap rate.
So how he came up with a 10 cap is he took $100,000 in NOI divided by $1 million, and you get 0.1, and you multiply that by 100 to get a percentage. So it's 10%.
And another thing that will help you guys when we talk about this 1% rule, you want to get, you know, properties that 1% of the rent is coming in, right? So let's just say it's $100,000 and you're getting $1,000 a month in rent. Well, 1,000 times 12 is 12,000. So that's 1% rule would equal a 12 cap because you do 12,000 divided by 100,000. So that'd be 12 cap. So 1% rule is a 12 cap.
Now, the 1% rule is also not factoring in everything else that you would arrive at the NOI with.
Yeah, it's a good point because most of the time when people are talking about cap rates, they're looking at these financials where I talked about the operating expenses, the vacancy loss, all that. And so it's really mostly used on commercial. But when people use it in residential, they actually use it wrong. They just use the rent like I was talking about. They don't factor in all these other expenses. So it's not a true cap rate, but that is how the market uses it.